Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, what an amazing crowd we've got tonight. Give yourselves a warm round of applause for coming out tonight. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 4th annual Space Coast Public Service Awards and Hall of Fame ceremony created by Space Coast Daily and the Brevard County Sheriff's Office to honor very special people in our community. I'm Giles Malone, a partner with Space Coast Daily, and it's our distinct honor to be with you tonight. I'd like to ask you now to rise and welcome Pastor David Rosenbaum, who'll give us our evening's invocation.
Love your neighbor as yourself is the Lord's command. Scripture also says each of you should think not just of your own interests, but also to the interests of others. What would the world look like if everyone loved their neighbor as themselves? Well, we're not going to know what that looks like this side of heaven. But you've asked a different question. What would happen if I loved my neighbor? You asked, and then you acted. You sought no recognition, but others noticed. They noticed as you mended broken lives, ensured public safety, listened with your hearts, guided those who were lost, defended the powerless, inspired our youth, and modeled servanthood. Tonight's celebration extends beyond the walls of this building. In fact, it even escapes the limits of this planet. The ballroom of heaven is ringing tonight, with angels singing and with the Lord's luscious laughter, because he delights in those who offer selfless service, and he beams when he hears our prayers of praise. Loving Father, you created us to love you and one another. To a world sorely lacking such love, you sent your Son, Jesus, who defined love when he laid down his life for friend and enemy alike. Bless this event and all our citizen servants. Dispel discouragement when the task is too large, the needs too numerous, the gratitude too scarce. Fill them with joy as they promote the interests of others ahead of their own. In the name of the humblest of all servants, Jesus. Amen.
Please be seated, everyone. Thank you very much. It's always such a pleasure to have Pastor Rosenbaum give us this invocation. He always has such stirring words. Would you please now rise once again? We're going to do a little exercise. For the presentation of our colors, the Multi-Agency Honor Guard, Brevard County.
Say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air,
Now we can be seated. Thank you so much to the Multi-Agency Honor Guard and Soliloquy for that amazing national anthem. I want to welcome you again tonight, folks, to the 4th Annual Space Coast Public Service Awards. It's a very special night for Space Coast Daily's team and for the Sheriff's Office as we honor the people that make Brevard County go. In every community, there are great men and women who have, by their strength of will and character, become ingrained in the consciousness of our society. They are doers and they are risk takers who have made a stand for the commitment and for the common good. They are labeled as public servants, but they are truly our natural community leaders whose legacies are the milestones of our progress. The purpose of our Space Coast Public Service Hall of Fame is to celebrate the value and the virtue of the highest standards of public service in our community, to highlight and showcase the contributions and devotion of public service, to recognize the work and the sacrifices of public servants, and to encourage young people to pursue careers in the public sector. And now it's my distinct honor and pleasure to recognize and welcome perhaps one of Brevard's finest ever public servants, our Sheriff, Wayne Ivey.
Good evening, everyone. Really? Hey, Giles. Hey, Giles, can you introduce me again? Because let me try it again. Good evening, everybody. All right, that's how it's supposed to work. We're in Brevard County, Florida, the greatest place in the country. So that's how we're supposed to do things. So, well, I'm gonna start out where I always do, and that is to say thank you for allowing me to serve as your sheriff. I love this job. It is without question one of the funnest things I have ever done in my life, and one of the things that makes it so incredible is I am surrounded by an amazing team of 1,500 men and women that are out there knocking it out of the park every day to keep you safe. So you see one of them out there, you see one of our team, one of our partners from one of the local police departments, or our partners and brothers and sisters from the firefighters and the EMTs. You let them know you appreciate what they're doing, because they're doing a truly tremendous job. In fact, if you are in that law enforcement or our firefighters or our military, please stand for me right now. All right, so before I jump into the program, I need to clear something up, because there's been a little bit of confusion, so I just want to clear it up right now. Yes, all of our vehicles are going to say, "In God We Trust," on the back of it. And as you can tell, I did not wake up thin this morning, so we're just going to stick with that plan. So we greatly appreciate all of the amazing support we got from our community. In fact, amazing support from around the globe of people telling us to stand our ground, and certainly we are going to. As we start tonight, I want to personally thank everyone who made tonight possible. And it takes a lot to pull off an event like this, as you can well see. And it takes a lot to get to where we are tonight. So I want to make sure that I start out by thanking everyone who joined us here tonight to celebrate the amazing work of so many individuals that make Brevard County unique. Our community leaders that are here tonight, our co-workers, our family members, and our friends who are all here tonight standing in awe of the amazing work of tonight's honorees. Now, everyone here tonight is without question a VIP, so I'm not going to try and go through and name off all of our VIPs that are here. You're going to see the VIPs in just a little bit. But I am going to ask all of our elected leaders that are here tonight to please stand so that we can thank you for recognizing our heroes tonight. Please stand. Hey, Yvonne. Now, of course, I have to recognize two VIPs. Actually, I don't have to, I get to. And if I did not, I would be in deep trouble on the way home. So I'm very proud to introduce my beautiful wife, Susan, and our youngest child, Junie. And I think Junie's already asleep. He seems to be worn out from the photographs that we took earlier. So I want to take just another minute, too, and talk about someone that's been a pioneer of this award. It's been a pioneer of creating this Public Service Awards in partnership with Giles and Tom and the Space Coast Daily team. And some of you in the room may know he and his family have recently met a tremendous challenge. And anytime that anyone is battling cancer, it is a tremendous challenge. But I am very proud to introduce tonight our Chief Deputy, who has been given a thumbs up by his doctors, and he is ready to go back to work next week. He has met the challenge, he has fought it, and he has won. And so please give a big round of applause for Chief Doug Waller, our Chief Deputy. Now hurry up and get back to work. Stop messing around. Tired of having to do everything. Tonight's event is an opportunity for us to truly recognize Brevard's heroes. Our teachers, our pastors, our mentors, our healthcare providers, our amazing volunteers, our good deed doers, our attorneys, our military heroes, our law enforcement officers, and our future public servants. Seems like I'm forgetting somebody. Oh yeah, the firefighters. We all know they really wanted to be cops, couldn't pass the exam. But we love them. In all honesty, if you've never seen your Brevard County firefighters and law enforcement agencies work together, it is a true thing to behold. They have great partnership, and they are the ones that have saved us on many occasions. So please give all of those I just named off a big round of applause. Tonight is our opportunity to share with our community each act of courage, valor, passion, bravery, and sacrifice that has made a profound difference in someone's life. In fact, their sacrifices have made a difference in all of our lives and in our community. The most amazing part about their efforts is that all of our honorees did what they did for only one reason: because it was the right thing to do. They didn't do it for glory. Most of them, when they were notified of being a recipient tonight, said, I don't want to be recognized. I did it because my heart told me to do it. They didn't do it for fame. They did it because it was the right thing to do. And if you walk away with nothing else tonight, walk away with that truly embedded in your heart. That doing the right thing is always going to be right. You can't go wrong with it. So I want to thank you again for being here tonight. And I certainly hope you understand that the people in this room tonight that are being recognized are the reason Brevard County is such a great place to call home. Enjoy your evening tonight, folks.
Well, I may have a little bit of a funny accent, you recognize, but I'm very proud to have lived here since 1981 and seen some amazing sheriffs and amazing sheriff's office work. But we are so blessed to have Wayne Ivey, Chief Doug Waller, and his whole team leading Brevard County, in fact, leading across the nation with our sheriff's department. One more round of applause for our sheriff's department. Very much. Well, the purpose of our awards is special, as you know, to recognize people that oftentimes fly under the radar. They don't get the recognition for the work that they do day in, day out. And we're so proud to be with you tonight to recognize over 126 people. It's going to be a very fast-moving program, thanks to our amazing team at Space Coast Daily. So what we're going to do now, folks, is we're going to show some films, some tributes to the very people sitting in this room. Rest easy. You're going to stay in your seats at the end of each award. We're going to ask you to rise, and we're going to show you how much we appreciate what you do for Brevard County. The goal for tonight is to raise over $75,000 for our public service charity. We want to thank these amazing sponsors you've seen on the screen tonight for helping make that possible. Over $75,000, that money will be ready when our first responders and our people need that help in the time of need. I want to thank our sponsors very much indeed. For those of you who can't be with us tonight, if you'd like to text your loved ones, they can watch these festivities live on spacecoastdaily.com. And of course, you can pick up one of our magazines to read about the tributes to these amazing people we're going to recognize tonight. I'd like to thank our team of amazing videographers, Brian Dillon, and the whole team at Space Coast Daily for putting together this program tonight, led by my partner and publisher, Tom Palermo, right over there. A special thank you goes to Chief Doug Waller for his amazing dedication to the event, and to Cheryl Senk for her incredible support. Now then, our first award for tonight is our Distinguished Merit Award. This award recognizes public service professionals who have performed with exceptional skill, technical expertise, commitment, and innovation while demonstrating sustainable results. These awardees have demonstrated exceptional performance and/or have demonstrated an act of outstanding personal bravery in the line of duty and defense of our state and citizens at imminent personal danger to themselves. Our Distinguished Merit Awardees.
Distinguished Merit Award.
On June 4, 2019, BCSO Deputy Paul Phillips responded to a disturbance call in unincorporated Indian Atlantic, and as he approached the residence, was ambushed by an armed suspect. Although Deputy Phillips was struck multiple times, he was able to return fire and neutralize the threat. As deputies reached his location, they began to provide emergency medical attention. Members of Brevard Fire Rescue Engine 63, Rescue 63, and D60 had also been dispatched to the incident. Upon the arrival of the BCFR team, they provided emergency treatment to Deputy Phillips to stabilize his multiple wounds and began transport to the hospital. It should be noted that this team of professionals not only tended to the critical wounds of the deputy, but provided life-saving efforts to the mortal wounds of the assailant. The swift emergency medical attention they provided was paramount in enabling Deputy Phillips the chance to not only survive, but recover from his injuries. As a community healthcare system, Health First is dedicated to taking care of Brevard's communities, and that was exactly the situation the emergency department and trauma teams at Holmes Regional Medical Center found themselves in on June 4, 2019, when they were alerted that a multiple gunshot victim was headed their way. When they learned it was a sheriff's deputy who had been shot in the line of duty, it stirred the emotions of the care teams. They are there to provide emergency, high-quality, and compassionate care, and they were determined that this deputy's story would not be a tragic one. Registered nurse Dimi Sipachu said the trauma team was awaiting his arrival with a trauma surgeon, ED physician, respiratory care nurses, and ultrasound, all set at the bedside and ready to immediately jump into action. With the team assembled and the facility prepped with the capability to care for a gunshot victim, the goal was to transport him into surgery as quickly as possible. Once there, the team scrambled to stabilize the deputy, hooking him up to IVs and distributing medication to ease his pain before chest x-rays, a CAT scan, and surgery were performed, ensuring his full recovery. On June 15, 2019, an off-duty deputy sheriff was enjoying the day with family and friends on the waters of the Indian River. As the boat approached the shore, the deputy dove into the water, not realizing it was very shallow. The deputy did not immediately surface and was discovered unconscious and underwater by other members of the group. A distress call was made and the critically injured deputy was taken by boat to the nearest landing. Members from Brevard Fire Rescue Engines 86, 87, and Rescue 86 arrived on the scene as the boat was arriving at the landing. Determining that he had suffered a serious spinal cord trauma, emergency personnel worked diligently to secure an airway and stabilize the injury to avoid causing any further damage. The deputy was immediately transported by BCFR to the hospital for advanced care. These emergency responders demonstrated exceptional skill in providing immediate triage during the transport to the trauma center. This call was especially taxing for the crew members, as the patient was a known local law enforcement officer, which some knew personally. Without their expertise, the deputy may not have survived his injuries. In June 2019, the staff at the Emergency Department at Health First Holmes Regional Medical Center was alerted that an off-duty sheriff's deputy had been severely injured in an accident while boating and had nearly drowned. The staff quickly prepared to receive him, tending to his life-threatening injuries and providing emergency surgery. This team not only delivered the critical care he needed, but did so with compassionate hearts. Nurses were in frequent contact with his wife, who had been traveling out of state, providing her constant updates regarding her husband's injuries and care. The medical team were constantly reassuring the deputy they were doing all they could do to put him at ease. Being that he was so cold from being brought in from the water, nurses utilized warming blankets to reduce his discomfort until he was taken into emergency surgery performed by neurosurgeon Dr. Basil Theototo. The deputy was transferred to the surgical intensive care unit and after weeks of care at Holmes was transferred to a rehabilitation facility where he continues to courageously fight the recovery battle. In July 2019, Cocoa Police Corporal Kenneth Bracken had just returned home from work when he heard a loud crash and discovered a car had flipped over and crashed into a roadside ditch filled with water. Corporal Bracken quickly entered the submerged vehicle and pulled 2 occupants to safety. Without his quick thinking, the outcome for these 2 young men would have likely been much worse. In July 2019, Cocoa Police Officer Brian De Los Santos and his canine partner Kira successfully tracked and located a suicidal subject who had reportedly ingested a bottle of prescription pills. A few months earlier, the team assisted medical personnel in the proper diagnosis of a driver who was suffering from a medical episode. The citizens of Cocoa and Brevard County are fortunate to have the skill and expertise of Officer De Los Santos and his canine partner available at a moment's notice. Ray De Moraes is the communications manager for the Melbourne Police Department, which includes all the communications for the Melbourne Fire Departments. Under his leadership, the team handled more than 250,000 calls, of which more than 58,000 were emergency 911 calls. MPD maintains a 98% efficiency of answering all calls within 3 seconds, and this success is attributed to De Moraes' leadership. He is also the lead on the incident dispatch team, and with every task Ray takes on, it is always mission accomplished. Cocoa Beach Police Corporal Jackie George is a 15-year law enforcement veteran who exemplifies dedication to the profession, the department, and the community she serves. Her primary responsibility is line-level patrol supervision, but she is charged with many other ancillary duties, including traffic homicide investigations, field training, instructing personnel, crime prevention, and community relations. Corporal George's ability to independently handle these duties with efficiency led to her recent selection as the Cocoa Beach Police Department's Officer of the Year. Laurie Hamilton is the program supervisor of Volunteers in Motion. In December 2018, when Laurie received a report that her client did not answer the door or telephone that day, she knew there was a serious issue and immediately responded to the residents. Laurie then found the client lying face down on the floor, and it was determined the client had been on the floor for several days. Laurie's understanding of her clients and their routines, along with her quick actions, undoubtedly prevented a tragedy. In March 2018, while conducting a security check at the Brevard County Jail Complex, Corporal Hutchinson saw an inmate exit his cell on the upper tier of the catwalk with a sheet tied around his neck. The inmate rushed to the metal railing and secured the other end of the sheet to the railing before climbing over and standing on the ledge. Corporal Hutchinson immediately rushed to the inmate while engaging him in conversation. The inmate, intent on taking his own life, suddenly released his grip on the railing and leaned backwards, which would have assuredly resulted in his death. Corporal Hutchinson leaped forward and grabbed the inmate's arm and clung to the inmate with one hand while hanging onto the railing with his other arm in an effort to prevent them both from plummeting off the top tier. Corrections Deputy Stewart assisted in pulling both Corporal Hutchinson and the inmate back over the railing to safety. Due to Corporal Hutchinson's quick actions, the inmate sustained no injuries and his life was saved. School Resource Officer Lehman Jackson has served at Jackson Middle School since 2006 and is known for going above and beyond acting as an officer, teacher, tutor, and mentor for his students and their families. He coordinates annual fundraisers which build relationships, as well as help sponsor those students who may not otherwise be able to attend the 8th grade field trip to Washington, D.C. He is also instrumental in assisting with the delivery of Christmas gifts and holiday meals to ensure each family has received gifts and a holiday meal to enjoy. Detective Mark Genuine is a 22-year veteran with the Melbourne Police Department, and as a general crimes detective, his dedication and tenacity have not only cleared cases within his jurisdiction, but he also greatly assisted other agencies as well. His recent investigations have led to multiple arrests in an organized statewide auto theft ring, a boat motor burglary theft ring operating from Miami to Brevard, and an organized retail theft porn ring, where it was estimated the group stole at least $80,000 from stores. FDLE Special Agent Brad Lewis is a seasoned investigator with over 25 years of public service. He was the lead case agent on a lengthy public integrity investigation that culminated with the arrest of the former deputy city manager and a citizen who allegedly attempted to extort and control the city council. Lewis is also a task force agent with the FBI Safe Streets initiative and works hard every day fighting the heroin epidemic. Over the past year, he has made numerous narcotic-related arrests and seized large amounts of heroin, cocaine, methamphetamine, and firearms from violent felons. Agent Sean Pindar has been a member of the Palm Bay Police Department for over 16 years and is passionate about investigating violent and narcotics-related offenses and continues to make a positive impact on the opioid epidemic. His efforts and leadership has led to the seizure of significant amounts of heroin and other dangerous drugs. He has been recognized with over 30 different awards for his outstanding performance, including 2 from the DEA, and was recently recognized as Palm Bay's Officer of the Year. In June, Cocoa Beach Fire Department Lieutenant Schindler and his crew responded to a report of a victim not breathing and without a pulse. While attempting to ventilate the subject, they found a foreign object in the airway, which they attempted to remove without success. An emergency incision into the larynx to open the airway was performed by Lieutenant Schindler. CPR was continued, and the patient was transferred to the hospital with blood pressure and a pulse. This will now be the 3rd time in Lieutenant Schindler's career he has had to perform such a procedure. His ability to perform a complex medical procedure such as this demonstrates his dedication, confidence, and ability. Agent Michael Spadafora has been a member of the Brevard County Sheriff's Office since 1998 and has been an active member of the Brevard Child Exploitation Task Force, sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security since 2007. He is certified as a federal task force agent with DHS ICE, where his cases are presented in both federal and state court. Agent Spadafora has been recognized on numerous occasions for his work in child exploitation cases involving the internet. He has a very unique skill set. He hunts those that prey on our children and lures those who rely on the anonymity of the internet to seduce and victimize children by bringing them from the shadows to face justice. Most of the time, the cases Mike works stay out of the public eye, but in this instance, the news went nationwide. In October 2018, he observed an online advertisement in which a subject was inquiring about necrophilia and cannibalism. He opened an investigation and began conversing online. Over the following days, the suspect described in great detail his desire to murder and decapitate a child, and then have sex with the dead body. The suspect also described how he wanted to cannibalize her remains. The subject requested Spadafora and the child travel to Texas, where he could commit these horrific acts. When the subject arrived, he was taken into custody. He had a knife and garbage bags, just as he had described, using to transport his desired portions of the child's remains. He provided a full confession, completing his statement by thanking the agent for stopping him, as he was unable to control his desire to harm a child. We may never know how many children were saved from this one case alone. Crime analyst Dawn Strickland has demonstrated her ability to be a significant asset to the Palm Bay Police Department and was recognized as the department's Civilian of the Year. While working on a long-term heroin trafficking investigation, Dawn was able to locate where the drug trafficker was operating. She was also instrumental in a methamphetamine distribution case that involved multiple suspects, where she was able to identify and distribute pertinent information. Dawn is a vital component to the investigative team and is considered invaluable to the success of the department's mission. In September, 911 public safety telecommunicator Deborah Staten received a call from a female advising that she wanted to harm herself. The communication with the caller rapidly deteriorated to only inaudible mumbling, and Officer Emilio Rosa, Officer Daniel Givens, and Sergeant Troy Barber were on scene within minutes after they were dispatched. The caller was found unresponsive and had very shallow breathing. They worked swiftly to render aid, and as a result of their life-saving efforts, the caller made a full recovery. Had it not been for the quick response of this team, the outcome might not have been the same. Since November 2017, United States Secret Service's Central Florida Electronics Crimes and Financial Crimes Task Force have teamed up to identify a criminal organization in the Central Florida area committing credit card fraud through fraudulently purchasing fuel. The investigation identified over 150 Cuban national suspects operating throughout the Central Florida area. Conservative estimates indicate this organization has victimized Central Florida residents for over $5 million. As a direct result of their hard work, 64 state arrests, 10 federal arrests, and 3 search warrants have been executed. The investigation has recovered over 11,000 stolen credit card numbers, gas pump skimmers, cellular telephones, thumb drives, laptop computers, and more than 36 vehicles have been seized. Due to their proactive efforts, persistence, and dedication, thousands of citizens have been saved from becoming victims of identity theft.
There it is, folks. Those are our distinguished awardees. Please rise, all of our awardees. Let's give them an extended round of applause as we thank them. What an amazing body of work by some amazing, dedicated public servants. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. What an amazing body of work. Some of those stories are gripping, aren't they? Absolutely gripping. That's our longest group. Gets better and better. Our Leadership Award recognizes individuals who have excelled in community-oriented activities that are collaborative, cooperative, and leadership proactive. The award highlights the importance of social responsibility, community involvement, and the development of enhanced relationships that are essential to Brevard County life. These Leadership Award recipients have displayed exceptional decision-making skills, fostered motivation, and have remained true to the highest levels of ethical standards.
Leadership Award.
Greg Donovan earned his Bachelor of Science in Aviation Management from Florida Tech and has spent 28 years as a top aviation professional. He is the Executive Director of the Orlando-Melbourne International Airport and is responsible for overseeing the authority's $68.4 million operating budget. Since August of 2014, Greg has secured millions in grant funding to support Orlando-Melbourne International Airport's aggressive capital improvement program. He has also been recognized as the 2011 Florida Department of Transportation's Aviation Professional of the Year. Greg is also a proud Panther, where he serves as an adjunct aviation professor at Florida Tech. Carl Finneson served as the president of the South Brevard branch of the NAACP for 14 years, and under his partnership with the school superintendent, the organization has helped in increasing the number of African Americans hired for principals and in other leadership positions. Carl has helped to establish an NAACP TV program at Brevard Community College, assisted in purchasing land for the Dr. Martin Luther King Public Library, and co-founded the Melbourne Police Community Relations Council. He is an active member of the Martin Luther King Coalition and served as the commander of the Piper Gardner American Legion Post No. 191 for 13 years. He is the founder and past president of the Reginald E. Johnson Memorial Scholarship Foundation, Inc., where he has awarded over $5 million in scholarships since 1980. For the last 32 years, Commander Hibbs has called Brevard County home and currently oversees the operation of the Brevard County Jail Complex, where he manages over 500 staff with an inmate population of over 1,500. After earning a bachelor's degree from Eastern Kentucky University, he completed his Corrections Academy in 1987 and joined the BCSO. In 1994, he was promoted to the rank of sergeant and became the first accreditation manager for the Sheriff's Office. Darrell was awarded the Youth Distinguished Service Program for his involvement with the Prosecution Alternative Youth Program, which works to keep young offenders from coming to jail. He has served on many community-based boards, and his career has been a major source of innovation and has contributed greatly to the Sheriff's Office and the citizens of Brevard County. Isa Kennedy has been serving her community and the residents of Brevard County for over 30 years, with the last 10 being Brevard County's corrections manager. Isa is responsible for Brevard County's pre-trial release program, where she works with senior judges, prosecutors, and defense attorneys to identify low-risk candidates for early release options. Isa also works closely with the Sheriff's Office to assess all information addressing the jail population. Isa oversees the Dory Schlossberg Driver Education Safety Act, Driver Education Safety Trust Fund, and coordinates the grant distribution process to assist with drivers' education programs in county schools. Her career has been defined through a commitment to excellence in her ability to bring together various departments and teams in a cooperative and collaborative effort to find solutions to current issues facing our community. Titusville Police Chief John Lau began his career with the department in 1992. Over his 26-year career in law enforcement, he has been recognized as Titusville Police Department's Officer of the Year, Supervisor of the Year, and Brevard County's Detective of the Year. In 2005, John attended and graduated from the Federal Bureau of Investigation's National Academy, and in 2012 he attended the FBI's Law Enforcement Executive Development Training in Quantico, Virginia. He has participated in hundreds of community outreach events and has been instrumental in raising hundreds of thousands of dollars for local charities benefiting children, law enforcement families, and abused women, using his position to raise awareness for others in need. Lisa Morgan began her public safety career as a public safety telecommunicator at the Brevard County Sheriff's Office in 1974. Throughout her career, she has held every supervisory position in the telecommunications profession. Since 1997, she has managed the Communications Service Director database. She has spent a career of approximately 45 years in public safety, ensuring the life safety of Brevard County's almost 600,000 residents, millions of annual visitors, and thousands of first responders, while mentoring and developed hundreds of additional public service members. Greg Pelham, a lifelong resident of Titusville, graduated from Astronaut High School and Rollins College. Beginning his career as a land clerk in 1990, he has served the citizens of Brevard County for almost 30 years. His talents were quickly recognized, and he was promoted to the positions of budget analyst and finance director for the Road and Bridge Department. In 2005, Greg was hired as budget manager for the Brevard County Sheriff's Office, and in 2010 he was named the agency finance director. Greg was promoted again to chief financial officer and perhaps met his greatest challenge with the acquisition of law enforcement and seaport security operations in Port Canaveral and animal enforcement. During his time with the Sheriff's Office, Greg's leadership and abilities led to the agency to new levels of professionalism and transition into new technologies that have increased the effectiveness of the agency to serve the citizens of Brevard. His vision and leadership will be missed at the Sheriff's Office, since Greg recently accepted a new professional challenge by becoming the Senior Director of Finance and Administration for the Property Appraiser's Office.
There they are, our Leadership Award recipients. Please stand. There they are. Greg Donovan, thank you. All of you, thank you so much. The public servant leaders of 1920 for our community. Public service is vital to the community, and this partnership award recognizes excellence where private sector partners and public sector service members have worked together to address community problems and enhance public safety. This honor recognizes exceptional support and advancement of community involvement, commitment to health, our environment, and the professional development of future public service members.
Partnership Award.
Christine Bean is the owner of CNR Designs Printing and works closely with the Titusville Police Department and the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. For the past 3 years, she has participated in the Law Enforcement Special Olympics Torch Run and has been a community partner at the National Night Out Outreach event. She is a vital volunteer in the coordination of the week-long state and national North American Police Work Dog Association training and workshops. Christine generously donates her time and talents to support Brevard County Charity Inc., including the Space Coast Public Service Awards, Dancing for the Space Coast, the annual Speedy DeWitt Tactical Firearms Challenge, and the Haunted Jail Trail. Dr. Elizabeth Chiosa, DVM, showed care and compassion in recently treating multiple agency canine emergencies. When explosive detection canine Wilma's handler observed her being lethargic with a distended abdomen, Dr. Chiosa determined that emergency surgery was needed. After surgery, Dr. Chiosa remained with Wilma overnight, monitoring vital signs and administering medications. On a second incident, canine Jake passed out after smelling a dangerous substance. Immediate first aid was administered as Jake was transported to Courtney Animal Hospital, owned and operated by Dr. Chiosa. She determined the dog was under the effects of amphetamine toxicity. Dr. Chiosa and her team immediately began treatment, and Jake returned to a stable condition. During a press briefing with Sheriff Ivey following the incident, Dr. Chiosa provided vital information to law enforcement canine handlers across the nation on the use of Narcan with working canines. Dr. Jeff Christensen is a board-certified veterinary surgeon that travels the Spaced and Treasure Coast performing complicated surgeries. Dr. Christensen has been working with BCSO Animal Services since 2016 to provide quality and life-saving surgeries to homeless pets in Brevard County. The doctor has provided all of his work to Brevard County at a minimum cost, with no professional fees included, saving Brevard County taxpayers thousands of dollars. Brevard County has become a no-kill community as Dr. Jeff Christensen provides these pets with a second chance at mobility in life by keeping them from being euthanized due to their medical conditions. Derek Kellgren is the Vice President of Operations and Marketing for Keltec CNC Industries, Inc., and has partnered with countless local charities in the community. Derek has supported the Brevard Law Ride for 10 years, donating various firearms to help raise money used to honor fallen law enforcement officers and their families. He has helped the Federal Order of Police and the National Veterans Homeless Support, Inc., which recently partnered with Sheriff Wayne Ivey in a new program at the Brevard County Jail called SAVE, Saving American Veterans Every Day. Derek has also served on the Sheriff's Office PAL board for 8 years to support building a better relationship between youth in Brevard and the law enforcement community. Pastor D. Miller is the leader and mentor to the members of the Truth Free Will Baptist Church in Titusville. As a well-known spiritual advisor within his community, Pastor Miller has partnered with Astronaut High School and created a student store. The store provides school supplies, food, and clothing at no cost to students. His team stocks the entire store by collaborating with community business and engaged community members who graciously donate to this worthy cause. Lee Skinner, Casey Shizek, Liam Fitzgerald, and William Corbett have taken their love for the sport of hockey and compassion for those with special needs and become coaches and mentors for the Space Coast Blast sled hockey team. Lee's son Trip was born with spina bifida, and William's son Bo was born with Klippel-Trenaunay syndrome. Casey is a teacher at Melbourne High School, and Liam works as an engineer at Davis Strategic Innovations. These men volunteer countless hours weekly for sled practice and fundraisers. The Space Coast program has led to 4 of the Space Coast Blast players, including William's son Bo and Lee's son Trip, to be selected for the USA Hockey National Development Camp. Dr. Thomas Smith graduated with his Doctor of Veterinary Medicine degree from Iowa State in 1991 and his Master's in Clinical Sciences from Kansas State in 1996. He is a board-certified internal medicine veterinary specialist and the owner of Animal Specialty and Emergency Hospital in Rockledge. Since 2016, with Dr. Smith's guidance, the team at the Animal Specialty and Emergency Hospital have formed a partnership with BCSO Animal Services to provide after-hours emergency and specialty care to thousands of Brevard County's most at-risk and in-need pets. With Dr. Smith's generosity and compassionate commitment, this care is provided at minimal cost, with no professional fees included. John and Ayana Verdi of Verdi Eco School and the Hey Blue Initiative have provided continuous and exceptional partnerships, opportunities, and long-range plans to assist public safety and community service. The Verdi Eco School is a not-for-profit urban farm school for hands-on learning. Hey Blue is an initiative to show, record, and share in real time all the great work and positive interactions our nation's law enforcement provides every day. The Verdis go to great lengths across all socioeconomic groups to develop better communication, collaboration, and unified growth. Rodine Unesi is a dedicated businessman and proven Formula, IndyCar, and Le Mans race car driver. He is the owner of Space Coast Harley-Davidson of Palm Bay and partners with Brevard County and other statewide charities who benefit from the countless events held at his businesses, including the Space Coast Motor Officers Police Motorcycle Challenge. These hosted events raise over $1 million annually for worthwhile charities. His philanthropy not only extends to local charities, but he also donates motorcycles to Brevard law enforcement agencies.
There they are, folks, our partnership awardees. Please rise. There we are. Linking the public sector and the private sector together in some really interesting ways, making Brevard such a special place to live. Thank you so much indeed. Nonprofits in this community are amazing, aren't they? There are so many doing so many different things. And this award is presented to Brevard County nonprofit organizations for outstanding and visionary contributions to Brevard County life. Special consideration was given to nominees who have demonstrated excellence in collaboration with businesses, other nonprofits, or government in their own social responsibility efforts. This award recognizes community safety impact and quality of life accomplishments.
Outstanding Nonprofit Award.
In 1976, Mary Allen and her friends pooled their funds and rented a small apartment to provide a shelter for homeless pregnant women. With help from volunteers and donors, that small apartment eventually transitioned into Genesis House, a not-for-profit agency that has provided more than 15,000 homeless women and their children with a home-like, supportive, caring, safe environment that has allowed them to become self-reliant and self-sufficient. Education, self-discipline, and independence from public assistance are earnestly promoted. Counseling, personal improvement classes, and appropriate health care are also provided for residents. Aging Matters in Brevard works to promote and maintain independence and maximize the quality of life for over 5,400 seniors and disabled citizens. This much-needed service would not be as successful without the tireless efforts of Joy Job, a Meals on Wheels volunteer and employee for nearly 30 years, and Craig Edmonton Wood, Operations Coordinator for Meals on Wheels. The Meals on Wheels program relies mostly on volunteer drivers who deliver a hot lunch, a friendly greeting, and a safety check to homebound seniors in Brevard County. Joy and Craig work every day to ensure that the seniors they serve receive a chef-prepared meal at little or no cost. The Salvation Army Melbourne Corps has been a Space Coast agency helping those in need since 1969. The Sue M. Pridmore Center for Women and Children is a homeless shelter which provides food and meals through its hunger relief program for emergency food assistance. The center provides financial assistance for rent, electricity, water, medications, and senior citizen programs. The Emergency Disaster Services Program provides emergency food and supplies before, during, and after a disaster, provides toys to children and gifts to seniors during Christmas, feeds the public Thanksgiving and Christmas meals, and much more. In 2014, Glenn Outlaw volunteered for the 5th grade at Cambridge Elementary School in Cocoa after hearing of so many families without a male adult role model in their home. Glenn, the father of 4 boys, wondered what simple yet impactful lesson he could pass on to the sons at Cambridge. He felt there were 2 simple yet essential elements to a successful start in young manhood: the ability to tie one's own tie and being able to confidently shake hands with adults. His idea became Tied Together, a program that has reached thousands of young men in Brevard's middle and high schools. Tied Together has touched the lives of over 11,000 young men, with a plan to reach another 5,000 during the 2019-20 school year, teaching the boys some life lessons before giving them each a tie in their school colors and teaching them how to tie it. During the 2018-19 school year, over 150 men volunteered, and in 2015, Glenn was also honored by being voted Brevard County's Volunteer of the Year. As the District Director for Vocational Rehabilitation in 1967, Bill Cox was forced to drive across the state to use facilities to evaluate, train, and provide work experience for adults with disabilities, since none were available on the Space Coast. Bill diligently worked to illustrate the needs of people with disabilities, and in February 1968, the Brevard County Community Achievement Center was born. Led by Ammon G. Bellman Jr., BCCAC's first board created the program's goals, and Donald Swickert was BCCAC's first executive director. It was renamed the Brevard Achievement Center in 1975 and has grown to become a premier agency serving people with disabilities.
Our nonprofits for 2020, outstanding group: Genesis House, Aging Matters, Salvation Army, Tied Together Space Coast, and the Brevard Achievement Center. Please rise, ladies and gentlemen. Outstanding nonprofits in Brevard County, making us such a great place to live. Now, for our young people. The Young Citizen Award is presented to secondary or post-secondary students 21 years of age or younger who best exemplify the spirit of zealous volunteer service. These awardees are all in good standing at a secondary or post-secondary educational school, have demonstrated outstanding volunteer service, have displayed humanitarian principles by word and deed, and have been nominated for the quality of the humanitarian activities rather than for the quantity of those activities. These are our young citizens for 1920.
Young Citizen Award.
After West Shore Junior Senior High School senior Ishan Jathal volunteered at Habitat for Humanity Restore, a home improvement store and donation center, he approached Director Pam Davis and asked her how he could do more. Through his desire and hard work, Ishan started a chapter at his school and recently raised over $50,000 for a Habitat for Humanity residents and personally oversaw the wall raising ceremony for the family in need in the Melbourne area. Ishan also plans to start a Habitat campus chapter wherever he decides to attend college, as well as staying active in his community. Deani Peterson is a 20-year-old college student who attends Eastern Florida State College and the Florida Institute of Technology. She was diagnosed at birth with a muscle disorder called arthrogryposis, which limits the use of her arms and legs. While some people may perceive a disabled person as someone who is unable to do all that they might do, Deani has learned that she can do anything. She is working towards being a software engineer for special needs children to change the world's perception of children with special needs. Throughout her life, Deani has achieved many things that were thought to be impossible, while also being extremely active in the community. Alexis Highland is a 17-year-old senior at Titusville High School and is also dual enrolled at Eastern Florida State College. She has volunteered thousands of hours of service to a community, with many of these hours coming from serving as the chief of the Titusville Police Explorers, where she has taken a leadership role as a board member of the Florida Association of Police Explorers. Alexis also serves and impacts her community by coaching children aged 2 to 5 in gymnastics and has volunteered as a horse riding instructor for youth.
Let's hear it for our young citizens. Yes, indeed, future leaders here in Brevard County. Where are they? Yes, indeed. Incredible young people here in Brevard. We are blessed indeed. Our Purple Heart Award is given to those who sustained personal injury or made the ultimate sacrifice in the performance of duty. The award of Purple Heart is given to public safety members who have sustained significant personal injury in the performance of duty and the protection of our citizens.
Purple Heart Award.
On September the 16th, 2005, U.S. Army Staff Sergeant Russ Marrick was just 8 days away from returning home to Satellite Beach. He was leading his team on a road south of Baghdad as a tank commander when an Iraqi insurgent's bomb tore through the bottom of his tank, killing 2 of the 4 soldiers inside. Russ suffered a traumatic brain injury and was severely burned on 20% of his body. Although he lost his right leg below the knee and his right arm below the elbow, he never lost his fighting spirit. Russ underwent multiple skin grafts and surgeries, in addition to being taught how to use a prosthetic arm and leg. Russ was awarded the Purple Heart, the Combat Action Medal, and a Bronze Star for bravery. Russ is an inspiration to everyone he meets, and it is an honor and privilege to honor this true American hero. Deputy Sheriff Paul Phillips retired from the Army as a staff sergeant in the infantry that included 2 tours in Iraq prior to joining the Brevard County Sheriff's Office in 2018. In the evening of June 4th of 2019, Deputy Phillips was dispatched to a neighborhood dispute involving an aggressive and threatening male. Following his arrival, Deputy Phillips began walking towards the male, who suddenly began screaming and without warning began shooting at him at very close range. Deputy Phillips was struck by 3 bullets from the assailant's weapon. One round struck Deputy Phillips in the right leg, shattering his femur. Another round to the left leg, shattering both the fibula and tibia, and a third round to his right shoulder. Despite these grave wounds, Deputy Phillips was able to return fire, striking and neutralizing the deadly threat. After months of surgeries and rehabilitation, Deputy Phillips is recuperating and preparing to return to duty. If it had not been for Deputy Paul Phillips intervening, the enraged subject may have severely injured or even killed the complainant. His actions represent the best qualities of law enforcement profession, and he is greatly deserving of the Purple Heart Award.
Why don't we all stand and recognize our Purple Heart awardees for 19 and 20, Russ Merrick and Paul Phillips. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, our Purple Heart awardees. Our Outstanding Military Service Award is now presented to Brevard County citizens and visionary contributions to supporting the region's active duty and reserve military community, their families and/or veterans. Special consideration has been given to these nominees who have created and fostered a long-term commitment to supporting these efforts. The award also recognizes members of our armed forces, either active, reserve, or veteran, who have performed with exceptional skill, sacrifice, technical expertise, commitment, and innovation in partnership with our local public safety members. Brevard County is either home or bases many of our nation's finest, and this award provides the recognition they have earned and sincerely deserve.
Outstanding Military Service Award.
The Brevard County Civilian Military Community Relations Council has contributed for over 60 years to supporting the military, military families, and veterans in Brevard County. The history of the Civilian Military Council predates Patrick Air Force Base, as it drew on two distinct communities: the civilians of Brevard County and the military members in and around Patrick Air Force Base. The CivMil Foundation was established in 1999 with the purpose to raise and expend funds exclusively for charitable, benevolent, and education purposes for military and civilian causes to further strengthen community ties. The foundation has a proud history of direct support of military personnel and their families. The Space Coast Honor Flight provides a one-day, all-expense-paid trip to veterans for an opportunity to visit our nation's memorials in Washington, D.C. To ensure that every veteran has a safe and memorable day, a flight medic EMT serves as a guardian on each flight. Lieutenant Scott Edelman, a flight medic EMT, has selflessly acted as a guardian to these veterans. He diligently kept in contact, making sure each flight is staffed properly with EMTs. He travels on at least one flight each year and is always standing at the ready to secure a replacement if an EMT should cancel. Scott can be counted on for his exceptional performance and the positive influence he has on each of our veterans. Roy Paul Heineman honorably served in the United States Air Force from 1995 to 2001 and was deployed numerous times during his active duty service. He began his career as a law enforcement officer with the Tazewell Police Department in 2004 and is currently a sergeant. In 2006, he enlisted in the United States Air Force Reserves and is currently Flight Chief for the 920th Security Forces Wing. During his deployments, Paul earned several decorations and medals, including the National Defense Service Medal, the Iraq Campaign Medal, the Global War on Terrorism Medal, and the Nuclear Deterrence Operations Service Medal. Indian River Colony Club is a 55-plus Vieira neighborhood committed to the well-being of our country, community, and fellow veterans. The not-for-profit corporation of Indian River Colony Club maintains its own charity foundation for the purpose of fundraising for military-related charities. The foundation has raised and contributed tens of thousands of dollars to worthy recipients in Brevard and the Central Florida region. The assistance of the IRCC Foundation is only a small portion of the annual contributions made by this unique military retirement community. The Indian River Colony Club operates with the philosophy of service to those who served. Retired U.S. Navy Captain Ernie Joy was a distinguished naval officer who commanded 3 ships. After retiring and moving to Melbourne, Captain Joy became active in the organization's Military Officers Association of America at Cape Canaveral as the president of the 1,467 member organization. During his tenure, he organized all of the many charitable events the organization sponsored. Captain Joy was also appointed Vice President of the State Military Officer Association of America and chaired the Assistance Committee as well as Scholarship Committee. To date, the MOAACC has awarded over $700,000 to fund higher education. Petty Officer First Class Michael Sullivan has displayed outstanding service in executing U.S. Coast Guard missions throughout Brevard County. He has been instrumental in increasing unit readiness by mentoring the qualification process of his team of junior marine science technicians. His leadership skills and technical knowledge of the maritime industry have resulted in numerous successful port state control and compliance verification exams for cruise ships and numerous waterfront facility inspections. Petty Officer Sullivan's commitment to serving and protecting the waterways, the maritime industry, and human life are commendable and make him an invaluable asset to the Coast Guard and his community. Before his retirement in November of 2017, Colonel Matthew Wallace served 25 years in the United States Air Force. For his outstanding military service, Colonel Wallace was awarded the Department of Defense Legion of Merit. In 2018, he was appointed to lead Brevard County's Public Safety Group, a conglomerate of critical services encompassing fire rescue, emergency management, community corrections, school crossing guards, and the medical examiner's office. He leads a team of approximately 800 employees with a commitment to excellence while executing the vision of the county commissioners and fostering long-term relationships with the local community.
There they are, folks, our military awardees for 19 and 20. Thank you so much, gentlemen. Thank you very much indeed. We couldn't do what we do without you, that's for sure. The Making a Difference Award recognizes individuals or groups who have made significant contributions to improving the quality of life for citizens of Brevard through expertise, spiritual, emotional representation, faith-based leadership, ingenuity, generosity, education, and healthcare. Our Making a Difference Award recipients.
Making a Difference Award.
Founded in 1986, AI Solutions Inc. is a provider of innovative mission-critical products and engineering services that enable uninterrupted and reliable access to space. As a team, they consistently partner with organizations to provide donations and volunteer hours to improve the quality of life for citizens of Brevard County. Collectively, the team is less than 200 employees. However, their support reaches far and wide across the Space Coast to numerous non-profit organizations. Additionally, AI Solutions Inc. has also collaborated with NASA to provide contributions to both Cocoa and Holy Trinity High Schools. Donna Martin Bolton retired as Correctional Probation Senior Officer after serving for 35 years and decided to return to the job she loves. She is the current president of Chapter 20 of the Florida Council on Crime and Delinquency. Donna has been instrumental in establishing community partnerships in Brevard County and has enthusiastically volunteered to support local events such as the Special Olympics Torch Run, Breast Cancer Awareness Walk, Shop with the Cop, and the JDRF One Walk. Susan has worked for the Brevard County Board of County Commissioners for 33 years as a horticultural technician and a park ranger. She developed many programs for school field trips, including the nature trail at the Rotary Park Nature Center. She now uses owls at the Rotary Park Nature Center for classes such as Owloween, homeschooling classes, nature nuggets, and big kids adventures. Michael Butcher began his career with the Brevard County Parks and Rec Department in 2009 and is currently the construction manager. Michael works closely with Brevard County agencies to successfully complete rebuilds of damaged facilities. Within 9 months, he had managed repairs of 11 hurricane-related projects. This massive undertaking enabled the citizens and visitors of Brevard to once again access and utilize our county's facilities. Bishop Jacqueline D. Jackie Gordon is the founder and senior pastor of New Shiloh Christian Center of Melbourne, which currently has a membership exceeding 1,400 followers. Bishop Gordon was consecrated to the office of bishop in 2005 and was the first female bishop to serve on the general board of the United Covenant Churches of Christ. She was also the first female associate pastor of Greater Faith Temple Church of God in Christ, where she served as administrative assistant for 14 years. Bishop Gordon's vision is to reach and embrace people of all walks of life. Chris Holyfield is a motivational speaker, actor, and business owner who has appeared on ESPN, 60 Minutes, Dateline, NBC, and Primetime Live. Chris is also the founder of 3D Team and works with kids, encouraging them to do their best at everything they do. He has a huge heart and gives back to his community by helping students recognize and avoid teasing and bullying among their peers. In the past 12 years, Chris has had the opportunity to address thousands of students regarding the harmful impact caused by teasing and bullying. Diana Kuzma is the Director of Social Services for Genesis Healthcare's Huntington Place of Rockledge, where she devotes herself to helping others. She is working on completing her PhD and recently earned a master's degree in interdisciplinary studies from University of Central Florida, where she specializes in gerontology and clinical psychology. Diana researched ways to improve the lives of seniors, especially those who are in long-term care facilities with substance abuse disorder, and developed an original healthcare model designed for training healthcare workers on the importance of early identification. Tracy Nelson Latshaw moved to Brevard County in 1988, and with the passing of her father, Bruce Nelson Sr., Tracy and her siblings began running the family business, Coco Hyundai and Coastal Hyundai Mitsubishi. Tracy proudly carries on her father's legacy of giving back to the community by supporting many local organizations that help children, especially Candlelighters of Brevard. Tracy has poured countless hours into raising awareness for pediatric cancer as a 16-year board member and as the event chair for Candlelighters' largest fundraiser, Have a Heart, assisted in raising a record-setting $240,000 in 2019. In 2017, the City of West Melbourne purchased an older residence to establish the department's Police Athletic League. The property needed renovations, and Jordan Lunn, president of Lifestyle Homes, offered to help. In 18 months, Jordan, along with his team, completely gutted the property, and the renovations were completed during the first quarter of 2019. The property would come to house numerous outreach programs through the United Way of Brevard. Thanks to the hard work, commitment, and dedication of Jordan Lunn and Lifestyle Homes, this project will impact many people throughout our community. Hired as a horticulturist with Brevard County Parks and Rec 28 years ago, Jennifer Maya has played an integral role in the county's Executive Leadership Institute and Employee Development Program as an instructor, facilitator, and developer. Since beginning in 2006, there are more than 300 graduates from ELI. In March, the Institute hit a milestone as 30 students representing the county, area municipalities, and charter offices took part in the Executive Leadership Institute program. It marked the program's biggest class, with nearly one-third of the students coming from municipal government organizations. Jacob Mullen is a 23-year-old successful entrepreneur who also has autism. As Jacob aged out of the school system, he was considered unemployable. Undeterred, Jacob designed and created a successful home-based business, Jacob's Ladder, selling specialty soaps that he produces for boutique store clientele. He is an accomplished Special Olympics bowler and has been awarded multiple medals. Jacob journals his successes on social media via the Facebook page Journey to Jacob's Ladder, where he reaches thousands daily with a message of inclusiveness and courage to overcome any obstacle. Daryl Nail graduated from Cocoa Beach High School and the University of Florida and spent over 20 years working as a broadcast journalist for NBC, ABC, and Fox. As an award-winning and Emmy-nominated reporter, he started a new Space Coast bureau for Fox 35 TV. Daryl's fearless reporting style earned him assignments to cover the strike zone for 3 major Florida hurricanes. He also investigated important national news stories such as the Pulse nightclub shooting, Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School shooting, and space missions at Kennedy Space Center. Daryl now helps educate and inform the world about NASA's innovation and exciting space exploration programs. The Brevard County Sheriff's Office assumed animal service responsibilities from Brevard County in 2014, and a continued issue affecting public safety has been the collection and storage of vital rabies vaccination information, as well as the registration of pets. The system BCSO inherited to accomplish these tasks was outdated, difficult to manage, and consumed thousands of staff hours each year. In 2018, it was decided to contract with PetChamp, which could facilitate these tasks with their technology and staff at an exceptional level. PetChamp met with local veterinarians and clinics, soliciting input and offering their service to assist in ensuring seamless compliance. Through their professionalism, innovative practices, and drive for excellence, the PetChamp team has proven themselves as making a real difference in the lives and care of Brevard County pets. Pamela Reed has been the CEO of Kindred Hospital Melbourne since 2009. Over the last 30 years, she has served in various hospital administrations, completed the Kindred Healthcare Executive Nurse Leadership Program, and was honored as the CCO of the Year for Kindred Healthcare Inc. in 2013. Pamela's team became the first hospital in Florida to achieve the Joint Commission Disease-Specific Certification for Respiratory Failure in 2018. Under her leadership, Kindred Hospital Melbourne was awarded the 2019 People Services Award and also received the Kindred Hospital Division 5K Performance Award consecutively over the last 3 years. Leonard Ross retired from the U.S. Army in 1988 after 22 years of dedicated service, which included 2 combat tours in Vietnam. He is the Provost Officer for the Cape Canaveral National Cemetery Support Committee and the Project Chairperson for the first crime conference in Brevard County. He received the NOAA Award by Brevard Community College and the Julius Montgomery Pioneer Award by Florida Tech for his community service. He served as the president of the Melbourne Police Community Relations Council and was a past vice president of the Legal Redress Committee of the South Brevard branch of the NAACP. Leonard is a community leader and one of those responsible for the solicitation for the construction of the Dr. Martin Luther King Library in Melbourne. St. David's by the Sea Episcopal Church in Cocoa Beach was founded in 1954. This relatively small congregation has provided an amazingly diverse and impactful ministry to hundreds of people, especially children, veterans, and the elderly in central Brevard County. Last year, a record of almost $37,000 was raised for special projects such as the Chaplain's Monument at the Veterans Memorial Center and 2 missions in Brazil and Bolivia to prevent human trafficking as well as to educate and feed street orphans. Today, St. David's Outreach Mission supports food for at-risk children along with school supplies for students. They also provide homemade meals to the elderly, funding for veterans in crisis, and support for mothers in need. In July, Centerpoint Church held its 9th annual Back to School event, the largest in Brevard County, with over 5,000 in attendance. They gave away thousands of backpacks, school supplies, haircuts, eye exams, medical checkups, bike helmets, and food at no charge. Centerpoint Church is led by Pastor Tom Walker and his wife Sue, who are the driving force behind the event. Sue does an amazing job organizing the event by providing inspiration, leadership, and building close relationships with local businesses who contribute and volunteer their time. Their greatest reward is seeing a smile on a child's face. Tracy Wilson has volunteered for the Space Coast Feline Network for over 15 years and also helps at the SPCA Spay and Neuter clinics, where she prepares the cats for surgery, as well as caring for them during their recovery. Tracy volunteers at the Suntree Vieira Pet Rescue, where she fosters animals from high-kill shelters and places them for adoption. She also opens her own home to dogs and cats in need of fostering until they are adopted. Tracy willingly travels throughout Central Florida to pick up animals in need and can be found at all foster and adoption centers, donating her time after working at the Brevard County Sheriff's Office.
May we have all of our Making a Difference awardees please rise. Please stand. Thank you. Making an incredible difference here in Brevard County. Every day, 365 days a year. Thank you so much for your dedication. Our Exceptional Citizen Award is now presented to dedicated people who've demonstrated outstanding achievements through exceptional volunteer service, willingness to extend themselves to help others, improving the quality of life in Brevard, and exemplify the Good Samaritan ethos.
Exceptional Citizen Award.
With nearly 40 years of law enforcement service, John Blackledge retired as Deputy Chief from the Palm Bay Police Department and currently serves as a sworn reserve Deputy Sheriff with the BCSO. He also served as Operations Commander for the Sebastian Police Department and has been the lead legal instructor for more than 30 years at Eastern Florida State College Public Safety Institute. Many law enforcement officers in Brevard County have benefited from the training received or developed during his tenure as an instructor. John is a graduate of the FBI National Academy and has served as a subject matter expert for the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for 25 years. Bruce Buggs and his family never hesitate to assist those in need and have donated time and resources to the renovations and upkeep of several historical cemeteries throughout Brevard County. He currently serves as the president-elect of the Independent Funeral Directors of Florida, and in 2018 was named as the Funeral Director of the Year by Kate's Boyston Publications. In 2019, he received the W. Clyde Lankford Distinguished Service Award from the Independent Funeral Directors of Florida. Bruce has made a positive impact through the compassionate service he provides to each family he serves at Bugs Funeral Home. Denise Farias is the organizational leader of Titusville's Toys for Tots Christmas gift event in coordination with the Titusville Police Department. Denise begins collecting toys for this outreach event months before Christmas, as the logistical effort of warehousing thousands of toys and the recruitment of volunteers is enormous. Denise communicates with nearly 1,500 families prior to Christmas and has truly made a difference in thousands of lives and has relieved a burden from parents who are unable to financially provide the gifts. Susan Hammerling Hodges is a certified physician's assistant who is involved with organizations that impact the lives of others in Brevard County. Susan has a love for helping children and currently serves as a Brevard County guardian ad litem. She also serves on the Crosswinds Youth Services Board of Directors and can often be seen mentoring children as a volunteer for Rolling Readers at Suntree Elementary. Susan was chosen as the hometown hero to fly with the USAF Thunderbirds and was honored as a 2014 Lead Brevard 4 Under 40 recipient. In 1954, Charles Jackson enrolled in the Denmark Technical College in South Carolina and became a certified master electrician after graduation. He started his own electrical business in 1970, which grew into Jackson Enterprises of Brevard, Inc. He is currently a member of the Greater Allen Chapel AME Church, where he serves as a pro tem of the Trustees Board, and has also served on the Board of Directors for Habitat for Humanity and the Board of Trustees for Edward Waters College. Charles is a lifetime member of the NAACP and is one of the longest-serving board members for his over 30 years on the Zoning Board of Adjustments. Sergeant Charlie Nash has served faithfully for over 37 years as a law enforcement officer and deputy. Charlie joined the Brevard County Sheriff's Office as a part-time deputy in 1986 after graduating from the full-time Law Enforcement Academy at BCC. Over the years, Charlie has done great work in many agency unit assignments. Since 1999, he has also served as General Counsel to the Sheriff's Office, providing legal advice and guidance. Charlie has been presented with multiple awards over the years, including Reserve Deputy of the Year and a Life-Saving Award. In addition to operating his law practice, Charlie has continued his commitment to serving the agency and citizens of Brevard County, volunteering well over 5,000 hours. Sandra Pelham created the Community Read and Feed program that helps children receive education and meals during the summer break, hosted at churches within the community. During this program, the children are also surrounded by positive members of their communities, such as law enforcement, ministers, and community leaders. Sandra has been making a meaningful impact on her community for years and resulted in the cities of Melbourne and Palm Bay honoring her by renaming a street Pelham Street in 2012. Sandra has consistently been a positive influence on both children and her community. Port Canaveral employees Stephanie Dobson, Joshua Clayton, and Sean Summers are members of the Royal Caribbean Cruise Line operations team and were working on August 5, 2019, when a disembarking cruise passenger collapsed on the sidewalk outside the terminal. The male appeared to be suffering from a heart attack, and the trio acted quickly. Sean Summers called 911, Josh Clayton ran to obtain a nearby portable defibrillator, and Stephanie Dobson began CPR when she could not detect a pulse. Because of everyone's quick response, the patient was revived and transported to a local hospital and made a full recovery, ultimately saving his life. Leah Simpson began volunteering in 2004 for Brevard Fire Rescue in the role of Volunteer Database Programmer Administrator. After wrapping up an 18-month project for BCFR in 2005, she began volunteering with the Natural Resources Management Department's Environmental Resources Management Program. At its completion, Leah went on to assist with the Stormwater Utility Program to enhance tracking of stormwater structures and vehicle maintenance. Leah has accumulated an average of 1,200 hours each year, and it is estimated that she has saved Brevard County approximately $250,000 in salary and contracted services.
Let's hear it for our exceptional citizens for 19 and 20. Please stand, ladies and gentlemen. There they are. Amazing dedication to Brevard County. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Exceptional performance and exceptional people here in Brevard County. Our Heavy Lifting Award is presented to exceptionally dedicated, knowledgeable, and skilled educators, managers, or leaders in any Brevard County school, to include post-secondary institutions and all. They have gone above and beyond their normal duties and demonstrated the highest level of commitment, professionalism, and excellence. These people inspire students every day of all backgrounds and abilities to learn. They have the respect and admiration of their students, their parents, and colleagues. They play an active and useful role in the community as well as in school. They are poised, articulate, and are highly effective advocates for their students and possessing great energy and passion for what they do.
Heavy Lifting Award.
Angela Barons is a problem solver and dynamic member of the Challenger 7 elementary team. Her enthusiasm and passion for teaching, assisting of teachers, and involving parents are unrivaled. As a Title I teacher, Angela strives to inspire and impact everyone she comes in contact with. She continues multiple intervention groups, plans family engagement events, coordinates the One School, One Book program, the Summer Think Stretch program, and provides Challenger 7 Elementary with new technologies to enhance instruction. Jennifer Brockwell has served as principal of Oak Park Elementary and South Lake Elementary School, and Krista Miller has served as principal of Astronaut High School for the past 5 years. Both are highly engaged educators, respected among their peers, and who care about the welfare and future of their students. Principals Brockwell and Miller, in addition to the school leadership program, have coordinated volunteer reading programs, school supply giveaways, guest speakers, and a North Brevard feeding chain, which involves teachers and principals spending the afternoon feeding school children in their area. Carrie Friday is admired as a media specialist from Southwest Middle School in Palm Bay. She strives to make learning fun and enjoys being actively involved in engaging students to learn. For the last 2 years, Carrie has created and implemented the 20-book challenge for the entire student body, challenging each student and teacher to read 20 books during the school year. She also recently organized a visit from Kwame Alexander, the award-winning children's book author and poet, to meet with students who have been logging their completed books. Cynthia Harris' career as an educator spanned 32 years as she served as a college instructor, guidance counselor, assistant principal, and principal in Brevard County. She received the IDEA Academy of Fellows Distinguished Educator Award, Certificate of Appreciation for Outstanding Support of Visual Arts Education, and the United States Department of Agriculture Healthy Student Award. Cynthia currently serves as Youth Education and Training Director of Science, Technology, Engineering, Mathematics, STEM, for the Macedonia Education, Technology, and Career Academy program. She is also active in her community as a member of many public service organizations. Kimberly Hemming, a counselor at Meadow Lane Elementary School, has been a teacher for Brevard Schools for 12 years and is a highly effective guidance counselor. She supports all stakeholders with exceptional student education resources, as well as meets the needs of a diverse population of students. She spends her personal time researching resources to assist students, families, and teachers who work with ESE students and is a role model both in and out of the school. Shannon Kraling has been teaching ceramics and chairs the school's fine arts program of O'Galley High School for 13 years. She is an exceptional teacher who always demonstrates an attitude of kids first, and recently led a group of students in the creation of a 9-foot by 9-foot mosaic mounted at the entrance to the administrative building. Shannon's lesson plan development, posting of weekly activities, and assessment practices are her greatest strengths. The method in which she organizes lessons, units, and daily activities has served as a model for other teachers in the district. Megan McGivney of James Madison Middle School was responsible for resurrecting the school's chorus and orchestral program. In just her second year as a chorus and orchestra teacher, she was able to expand her programs with great success, and the school has now added additional chorus classes to keep up with student requests. Megan worked with a group of teachers to present about John Hattie's visible learning research and serves as elective department chair, using her skills and knowledge to contribute to the growth of her colleagues. As the 2019-20 Brevard County Principal of the Year, Heather Price is recognized as a pioneer of online learning for Brevard students. She has been instrumental in providing an amazing digital school culture. The online options have significantly grown under her leadership, as her school was recently recognized as an A school in 2018. Using research-based strategies through the Maui Askidum network, Heather has inspired her teachers to be more than just a voice on a device. Heather also implemented the first of its kind Positive Behavioral Intervention Services program for online learners. The digital options and variations she has created and fostered provide amazing options and alternatives for a changing world for students. In November 2018, the principal of Vieira High School was selected to serve the district as a director, and Assistant Principal Sarah Robinson was named acting principal. Faculty development continued to be a focus for Sarah, and during the February Professional Development Day, all of her adult learners were fully engaged in the learning activities she planned and implemented. Sarah's demonstration of excellent organizational leadership, communication skills, and genuine care for others are just some of the reasons she was selected as the principal for Vieira High School. Tracy Siebert has taught 4th grade for 15 years and 2 years ago implemented a kindness club at her school where Suntory students work together to create a culture of kindness. Students have also raised over $500 for school supplies and to support the Panhandle community after Hurricane Michael. Other projects include collecting blankets and food for the local animal shelters and toy donations for children with cancer at Nemours Children's Hospital. The Kindness Club also implemented a buddy bench so any student can find a friend to play with. Additionally, in 2017, Tracy was diagnosed with malignant melanoma, and she wants everyone to be more aware of the risks of skin cancer. Melissa Vincent of Williams Elementary School says, all students can learn, and is driven to ensure that all students' individual needs are met by creatively designing her classroom to accommodate a learning environment. Melissa shares her knowledge with other exceptional student education staff members and is a lead staff member when a behavioral intervention plan is written. She is Crisis Prevention Institute trained and is a member of the CPI response team. Prevention Institute trained and is a member of the CPI response team. Melissa uses her knowledge to assist in debriefing after a crisis occurs to problem solve and improve the response of the team.
Doing the heavy lifting 365 days a year for our most important assets, our children. Let's hear it for these people. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for that work you do. We love you. We recognize what you do for our Brevard County. The Administrative Professional Excellence Award recognizes public service employees who have made exceptional contributions to sustain and strengthen their organizations. This award recognizes administrative professionals who have continually shown dedication and commitment to the agency through innovation, which has had a significant positive impact on the agency, organization, and Brevard County. These awardees are imaginative and creative people who possess outstanding leadership, administrative ability, and initiative.
Administrative Professional Excellence Award.
Jeanette began her career with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office in 2002 as an administrative assistant. For the last 6 years, she's been serving as assistant to the Office of the Sheriff and is currently assigned as the Senior Executive Assistant to Sheriff Wayne Ivey. Jeanette is a problem solver, has the ability to respond quickly to change and interact with a wide range of personnel, from citizens all the way up to the governor. She has responsibility for all office functions for the sheriff and chief deputy and represents the office with professionalism and consistently goes above and beyond expectations. Jeanette is involved with the many charitable events and community programs of the sheriff's office and is a mainstay of the annual Speedy DeWitt Firearm Challenge and the Haunted Jail Trail. Jeanette's dedication to duty and outgoing personality promotes a positive image to all who come in contact with the office of the sheriff of Brevard County. Brenda began her career with the Sheriff's Office in October 2000 as a senior staff assistant, and for the last 19 years has set the standard for what is expected from an employee with the Sheriff's Office. Not only does she fulfill her daily responsibilities, but often covers other administrative positions within the precinct. During her tenure, she has worked with several command team members and has been able to adapt to each of their unique styles without missing a beat. Additionally, Brenda volunteers her time for the various charitable events hosted by the Sheriff's Office. Brenda does all of this because she truly cares about her community and the employees that she affectionately refers to as her family. Brenda's outstanding motivation and dedication to duty reflect positively upon herself and continues to keep with the highest traditions of the Sheriff's Office. Audrey Lampkin has honorably served the children, parents, and staff of Brevard County Public Schools for over 14 years. The success in maintaining the highest standards of security for her schools in Brevard County is directly attributed to Audrey's exceptional administrative skill set, dedication, and loyalty to serve our district of over 9,000 employees and 73,000 students. Audrey has been instrumental in maintaining school emergency operational plans for 90 school sites and the Department of Education's Safe Schools assessment tool for our entire district. Brevard Public Schools proudly leads the way in Central Florida school districts with the highest volume of Speak Out hotline tips. The safety and security of our school district are directly attributed to Audrey's positive attitude, exceptional work ethic, and the passion to serve our children and staff. Alyssa Lanier has worked for the Melbourne Airport for 7 years as a TSA officer supervisor. In April of 19, she was selected as the Melbourne Airport Authority's badge specialist supervisor. She accepted this new challenge and has been instrumental in the successful revision of policy, practices, and procedures regarding the badge office and its operation. Alyssa is responsible for verifying the accuracy of documents submitted for badge consideration, but also ensures that proper assessments and background checks have been conducted for priority security-related matters. She was in the forefront of providing critical information for the annual TSA comprehensive audit and always portrays a positive and professional attitude. Alyssa is an asset not only to the badge office and police department, but to the entire Orlando-Melbourne International Airport. Karen has been a member of the Melbourne Police Department for 6 years as an administrative assistant supporting the patrol division. Karen's primary responsibility is managing the off-duty officer system that ensures hundreds of events held annually in Melbourne are appropriately staffed with law enforcement services. In addition to these duties, Karen answers thousands of telephone calls coming into the police department every year. Many of these calls are routine, but some are more challenging and involve citizens who are in a crisis or simply confused and desperately looking for assistance. Karen is a consummate team player and without a doubt the go-to person in the department. Her compassion for the citizens she serves is unparalleled and unwavering. Karen is a high-caliber employee and we are fortunate to have her as a member of the Melbourne Police Department.
There they are, making our organization's work administratively. Excellence in administrative. Jeanette, Brenda, Audrey, Alyssa, and Karen, thank you so much, ladies, for your dedication over the years. Really want to thank you very much indeed. The Norm Wolfinger Justice Award recognizes innovative and effective individuals whose efforts have made positive, influential differences in improving local, state, or federal systems of justice in either criminal or civil arenas. The award recognizes individuals who have made significant contributions, accomplishments, or advocacy directly related to the improvement of justice and civil rights. The award is given in memory and honor of Norman Wolfinger, who served as state attorney of the 18th Judicial Circuit of Florida from 1984 through 2013. This award is intended to recognize professionals who have shown unusual initiative and imagination in the performance of their duties and contributions to the legal profession.
Norm Wolfinger Justice Award.
John B. Daly was in the U.S. Navy in 1976 when a lawyer challenged him to take the law school admission test. John passed the exam and attended law school at the University of Florida. John has been volunteering at Brevard County Legal Aid since the mid-1980s. Over the years, he has undertaken full representation of low-income clients in family law matters, staffed hundreds of legal clinics, and assisted Brevard County Legal Aid in implementing its Family Law Pro Se Assistance Program. Over the past 8 years alone, John has logged more than 1,000 hours of volunteer service. His work with pro se litigants has been especially important. Clients seeking assistance will show up at legal clinics with no understanding of how to proceed, and John has written an informational booklet that explains the entire legal process. John now works in solo practice as a Florida certified family mediator in Palm Bay. For his outstanding pro bono service as an attorney, in 2019, the Florida Bar awarded John B. Daly the Florida Bar President's Pro Bono Service Award. John has demonstrated a career of valued public service to the citizens of Florida. Joe Downing previously worked with the Florida Department of Law Enforcement for 10 years before coming to the State Attorney's Office in 2000 as an attorney. One of Joe's first assignments was with the Community Prosecution Program. Joe did an outstanding job in developing community contacts and partnerships that make this initiative one of the most respected and recognized crime prevention programs in the state, even receiving recognition at the federal level. In 2008, Joe was selected to become the Division Chief of the Elderly Resolution and Diversion Unit, one of the most important divisions within the State Attorney's Office. It is responsible for ensuring responsible plea offers are made in the early stages of a case so that months of unnecessary litigation are avoided. Joe has also been responsible for the operation and success of our diversion courts, including Veterans, Drug and Mental Health Court. These courts have been vital in trying to break the vicious cycle that keeps many of our citizens trapped in the criminal justice system because of service-related issues, addictions or mental health problems. As a veteran of the U.S. Navy himself, Joe was well suited for this position to assist our veterans. Joe is also set to retire this year after an outstanding career of public service. Michael Kahn has been engaged in the private practice of law since 1977, after he received his law degree from Duke University. For the past 28 years, he has acted as special counsel to various Florida cities and counties regarding the preparation and defense of ordinances involving First Amendment issues. Michael is also a Supreme Court certified mediator who has been appointed to oversee mediations regarding First Amendment disputes involving government entities. Embodying the spirit of Norm Wolfinger, Michael is actively involved in the development of attorneys and the profession, having taught and lectured on many subjects, including topics concerning law of the First Amendment, constitutional law, municipal and county ordinance preparation, and litigation. For 9 years, Michael was an adjunct professor at Rollins College, where he taught courses such as professional ethics and the First Amendment, as well as courses in literature and philosophy. Michael won the Christa McAuliffe Teaching Award in 2002 and is presently teaching constitutional law for the Florida Institute of Technology.
Our Norm Wolfinger Justice Award recipients, John B. Daly, Joe Downing, and Michael Kahn. There they are, gentlemen. Pillars of our legal community. Thank you so much for your dedication to Brevard County over the years. The Claude Jake Miller Public Safety Member of the Year Award was created to recognize a public safety member who has made outstanding contributions to public safety and community service within the organization. The award is given in memory and honor of Sheriff Claude Jake Miller, who served in law enforcement for 5 decades and Sheriff of Brevard County for 17 years. The Public Service Safety Officer of the Year recognizes public service professionals who have dedicated years of service during a distinguished career, where they have significantly enhanced the public safety profession, have shown unusual initiative, dedication, and imagination in the performance of their duties, and by substantial service have furthered the cause of justice and the mission of public safety.
Claude Jake Miller Public Safety Member of the Year Award.
Chief Deputy Michael Lewis retired in 2017 after 35 years of service to Brevard County. A native of Massachusetts, he relocated to Brevard County, joined the Sheriff's Office in 1982. Michael quickly distinguished himself as a leader and served as a sergeant in each of the agency's precincts, as well as a supervisor in the Criminal Investigations and Career Development Unit. Michael was promoted a major by Sheriff Jake Miller in 1996. In 2005, Chief Lewis would be elevated to Chief Deputy upon the election of Jack Parker as Sheriff, and would serve in that position during both of Parker's terms. Upon the election of Sheriff Wayne Ivey, Chief Lewis was given a new challenge where he was asked to take over the reins of the jail complex. Bringing new levels of professionalism to the operation of the jail, Chief Lewis created many of the training programs used with the agency during his assignment to the Career Development Unit. Chief Lewis is a graduate of both the Southern Police Institute Command Officers course and the FBI National Academy. Early in his career, he became a member of the agency's Special Weapons and Tactics team, progressing to commander of the team, a position that he held for many years. Under his direction, the SWAT team was recognized on local and state levels for outstanding accomplishments and partnerships. Chief Michael Lewis has impacted all areas of the agency and many of its members. Michael has left a legacy of professionalism, dedication, commitment, and most importantly, valued leadership.
Will Mike Lewis please come to the stage? Let's hear it for him, folks. A dedicated career of service and the Jake Miller Public Safety Officer of the Year Award. Kathy Miller will present the plaque.
So Mike just said what I already knew he was thinking, and that was he hates being up on this stage and how much he loves plaques and stuff. So I'll tell you a little bit about Mike, and that is, first of all, he loved Jake Miller, and Jake loved him. They were a great team for many, many years, and he is a very deserving individual. His leadership will be felt throughout our agency for a very, very long time. The programs he created, the things he did, the sense of humor he brought to the table, all of those things are what really, truly landed him with this honor tonight. So, Mike, on behalf of, I know I can speak for Jake, I know I can speak for Sheriff Parker, and I certainly am speaking for our team today. Thank you for everything you've done for our agency, brother. We love you, man.
Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, Mike Lewis, Brevard County's Sheriff's dedicated servant and the recipient of the Jake Miller Public Safety Officer of the Year Award. I remember Mike when he had all black hair, jet black hair. Looking very distinguished there, Mike. A great man. And thank you, Kathy, so much for joining us again. We really appreciate that. Coming down to the end, folks, what an amazing group of people we have here tonight. Our Lifetime Achievement Award recognizes public service professionals who have dedicated years of service during a distinguished career where they significantly advance public service and by substantial service have furthered the cause of justice and the mission of community service. This award is presented to a deserving individual, either living or past, who has taken a long-term leadership role, making extraordinary contributions and sacrifices through a lifetime body of work that positively impacted their organizations and Brevard County. This year's Lifetime Achievement Awards are presented in memory of a very special man, Agent Lee Winner.
Public Safety Memorial.
Lee Winner enjoyed an accomplished law enforcement career that spanned over 37 years, beginning at the age of 19 when he moved to Brevard County. Although Lee proudly served the communities of Indialantic, Indian Harbor Beach, and Cocoa, most of his time was spent with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. During his service, Lee was most proud of his accomplishments as an investigative agent. In his various assignments, Lee consistently demonstrated a professional dedication to duty and maintained the highest levels of public trust. Lee was respected by his community and his co-workers, while he supervised, developed, and mentored many law enforcement officers as they entered their public safety careers. In addition to his outstanding law enforcement service, Lee was passionate about sports. Although he loved playing sports, Lee also loved to coach and coached many local youth teams. Lee's dedicated commitment to these young people was far-reaching, and his strong influence will be long-lasting. Unfortunately, Lee did not have the opportunity to enjoy his golden years as planned. He was struck down by cancer less than a year into retirement. Although he was taken too soon, Lee will be remembered for his larger-than-life presence and his personality that dominated any room he entered. Lee was funny, intelligent, engaging, and fiercely competitive. These are the traits that endeared him to his family, his co-workers, and the community he loved and served.
Public Service Lifetime Achievement Award.
In the 1940s, Dick Blake played 3 sports at Monroe High School in Cocoa and earned a bachelor's degree from Claflin University in South Carolina and master's degrees from Columbia University in New York and the Florida A&M University in Tallahassee. After returning to Brevard County, he became a teacher and coach. Later, he developed the integration of Brevard schools, becoming the first African-American principal in Brevard Public Schools when he was promoted to principal at Cocoa High School in 1979. He has proudly provided 40 years of dedicated service and leadership to the citizens of Rockledge as a city councilman and Cocoa as a principal. Dick has truly been an ambassador for the city of Rockledge and the Rockledge Police Department for many years. In his role as a city councilman, Dick demonstrated the art of politics, the life of action, and thought towards the common good. Over the last 4 decades, Dick Blake has set the bar for city council members and raised the expectations of all. The relationships and partnerships started by Dick Blake some 40 years ago remain strong today. Dick Blake worked hard for his community and believed each individual should be respected and never be the byproduct of race, religion, age, or orientation. Hugh M. Brown graduated from the Lake County Training High School in Leesburg, Florida, and entered the U.S. Air Force, flying more than 3,000 hours on Super Constellations aircraft. After completing his service, Hugh graduated from Central State University in Ohio before joining the aerospace community in 1967 at Kennedy Space Center in support of the Apollo-Saturn launch program. Hugh Brown has over 30 years of industry executive management experience and in 1978 founded BAMC Inc., a full-service engineering and technical services company. Headquarters in Titusville, BAMC employed over 2,200 highly skilled professional and technical personnel. As a government services contractor, BAMC provided engineering and technical launch services at KSC in support of the Shuttle Launch Program and other NASA centers, as well as major Defense Department installations across the country and internationally. President George H. Bush presented Mr. Brown with the U.S. Small Business Administration's Graduate of the Year Award in 1991. An active community and business leader, Mr. Brown is an advocate of success achievement through a can-do attitude. He believes in the ethics of hard work and treating people with dignity and respect. John Cosat began his career in emergency management and public safety in 1980 as an Air Force officer, serving as an emergency management policy development, chemical, nuclear, biological defense warfare officer. During his 12-year tenure in the Air Force, he held critical positions that enhanced the preparedness of major Air Force commands. Following the Gulf War, he began the next chapter in his life as an emergency management technician for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration and the U.S. Air Force. In 1998, he was promoted into the position of Emergency Management Program Manager. In 2008, he was hired and continues to lead the KSC Emergency Management Office as a Chief of Emergency Management. For the past 13 years, John has been managing all planning, response, and recovery operations during large-scale disasters for NASA and KSC. As an emergency manager both in the military and as a government contractor, he has devoted his life to ensuring the people he serves are fully prepared for disaster and the teams he manages are fully trained to respond to all emergencies. After graduation from Florida A&M University in 1970, Art Edwards accepted employment with Rockwell International as an Apollo program electrical services engineer. Art had many outstanding aerospace accomplishments, which include leading the 5,000-plus United Space Alliance KSC employees in achieving OSHA Voluntary Protection Program certification. Since 1972, Art has diligently devoted time to various nonprofit organizations while excelling in his professional career. In 2007, Art was selected by the Brevard County School Board District 1 representative to sit on the audit committee, significant in Brevard County school systems being selected for the prestigious Sterling Award. Art has received many awards of recognition, but his most cherished awards are the Lifetime Achievement Award, received in 2013 from his beloved alma mater at Florida A&M University, and the 2013 National Space Club prestigious Lifetime Achievement Award. Art's community involvement continues as he served as steward at St. James AME Church, president of the FAMU Brevard County Alumni Association, and Harry T. Moore Memorial Park and Museum Board of Directors. Roger Langevin's experience and training has enabled him to provide an outstanding level of security to facility aircraft launch programs and flight crew readiness as the Kennedy Space Center Chief of Security. His distinguished public service career began 35 years ago, and in his current role, Roger is responsible for security readiness, response, command, and control during all launches, as well as the protection of all flight hardware assets at KSC. Roger's efforts, which include spearheading the implementation of the KSC Active Shooter Plan, physical improvements to KSC's infrastructure, and providing input to the members of the Multi-Agency Command and Control Team. As a liaison to the United States Secret Service, Roger has spent countless hours ensuring a smooth arrival, on-site visit, and departure of our President, Vice President, and other U.S. and foreign dignitaries. Chief Roger Langevin is also a graduate of the 228th session of the FBI National Academy. Steve Salvo has proudly worked in public service for over 43 years. Beginning in '78, Steve served with distinction at the BCSO, where he was promoted through the ranks for his outstanding service. Steve retired in 2016 as commander, directing many of the agency's administrative functions. He holds many instructor certifications, whether coordinating training courses for the department as a whole or instructing new divers wanting to join the dive team. Steve has also been associated with the United Way of Brevard for the past 20 years, In addition, Steve is a longtime member of the Space Coast Freewheelers, a local bicycle club. The club holds 2 major annual cycling events where all of the proceeds are given to local nonprofits. Steve has been a huge part of the incredible growth of the Sheriff's Office over the past 30 years. In 2016, Steve joined Eastern Florida State College as Dean of the Public Safety Institute, where his legacy of training and development of our future public service members continues. If that is not enough, he is also an active reserve deputy for the Sheriff's Office, where he volunteers many hours in the protection of our citizens. Judge George Turner has dedicated his life to the service of his country and the community he lives in. His service career began in 1969 as a member of the Airborne Infantry Rangers of the United States Army. Judge Turner is a combat veteran of the Vietnam War, receiving multiple awards to include the Silver and Bronze Star, as well as the National Defense Service Medal. After leaving the armed services in 1972, Judge Turner turned to serving his community by joining the Melbourne Police Department as a patrol officer. Using his military experience, Judge Turner distinguished himself with the Bomb Disposal Unit, Underwater Dive Team, as well as the officer in charge of the department's SWAT team. Judge Turner continued his education, graduating from Rollins College with both a bachelor's and master's degree. Judge Turner ended his career in law enforcement in 1981, leaving the department to pursue a law degree, which he obtained from Nova University College of Law in 1984. Upon obtaining his law degree, Judge Turner went to work for the State Attorney's Office. From 2002 to 2005, Judge Turner served on the county court as both Brevard County Administrative Judge and Chairman of the Brevard County Canvassing Board. In 2015, Governor Jeb Bush appointed Judge Turner to the Circuit Court and currently serves as an appellate administrative judge. Judge Turner is a person who truly puts others before himself, and we are proud to recognize him with this prestigious award. Shannon Wilson was employed by the Brevard County Attorney's Office in 1987. She received her degree of Juris Doctor in July of '81 from Stetson College of Law. Prior to her employment with the County Attorney's Office, Shannon served as an Assistant Public Defender with the Seminole County Public Defender's Office and as an Assistant State Attorney with the Brevard County State Attorney's Office. She was promoted to Division Office Chief during her tenure with the State Attorney and was responsible for the organization of the Trial Division, supervision of attorneys within the division, and preparation of major cases in the division, along with her regular caseload. Shannon also provided legal service to the Board of County Commissioners, County Managers, and numerous county departments. In the course of her representation of the County Commission, Shannon made appearances in the 18th Judicial Circuit, the Middle District Court of Florida, and the 5th District Court of Appeals. Her career advanced during her time with the County Attorney's Office from Assistant County Attorney to Assistant County Attorney 3 before ultimately being promoted to Deputy County Attorney in 2005. Despite her retirement in 2019, Shannon continues to assist with outstanding legal advice and wise counsel, just as she's done for the last 31 years. Judge J. William Woodson, known to colleagues and friends as Woody, served his country as a member of the U.S. Army's 82nd Airborne. After completing his service, Judge Woodson went to the University of Miami, where he earned his law degree. Judge Woodson relocated to Brevard County, becoming the first Eau Gallie City Attorney. He was appointed to serve Brevard County as Justice of the Peace from 53 to 57, which also made him the Coroner of Brevard County. Judge Woodson was appointed as a Circuit Court Justice for the 18th Judicial Circuit in 73 by Governor Reuben Askew. He would serve on the bench for 18 years until his retirement in 1991. Judge Woodson continued to assist the circuit after retirement as a senior judge. Outside the courtroom, Judge Woodson was deeply invested in the Eau Gallie area. He was active in community organizations such as Rotary, Lions Club, and Kiwanis. Judge Woodson ruled the courtroom with common sense. He was a mentor to many attorneys and judges that came after him, always available to assist or teach as they transitioned from private practice to the bench.
For a lifetime of achievement, all these men and women, let's hear it for them in honor of Agent Lee Winter. Please rise. Richard Blake, Hugh Brown, John Cosat, Art Edwards, Roger Langevin, Stephen Salvo, Honorable George Turner's family, Shannon Wilson, and the Honorable Woody Woodson, our Lifetime Achievement Awardees. Incredible body of work that made Brevard County an amazing place. Sure. Now then, folks, it's been a wonderful evening as we move towards our closure. The Public Service Awards Committee has reviewed, identified, and now recognizes Lifetime Achievement Award recipients with the prestigious Public Service Hall of Fame. for demonstrating careers that have greatly contributed to the advancement or promotion of public service and community service in the pursuit of justice and protection of freedoms and our constitutional rights. Hall of Fame recipients, please enjoy your presentations, and after the video is complete, please proceed to the stage left, and you'll enter the stage and be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Public Service Hall of Fame Award.
The public service career of Ronald L. Clark spanned 4 decades of dedicated service with agencies at the municipal, county, state, and federal levels. Each employment opportunity resulted in Clark assuming a leadership position where his vision and innovation became the catalyst for improvement, refinement, and excellence. After serving honorably in the United States Army, Ron was employed with security contractors at KSC before joining the Titusville Police Department in '69. During his tenure at TPD, it became a model which other agencies emulated. In '81, Ron Clark was brought into the Brevard County Sheriff's Office by then Sheriff Jake Miller in the position of Chief Deputy. Early on, his vision and focus helped to transition the organization by creating new service programs and addressing staffing deficiencies. Under the managerial oversight of Chief Clark, law enforcement service contracts with municipalities were created. The concept of task force participation was expanded with both local and federal agencies. Equipment and training needs were addressed agency-wide. During his tenure, Chief Clark graduated from the prestigious FBI National Academy. He left the Sheriff's Office in '96 with the agency in far superior shape than at the time of his entrance some 16 years earlier. Clark joined the Central Florida Hideaway Office as Deputy Director in 2003 with the mission of supporting law enforcement efforts to combat organized illicit drug activities. While he subsequently entered full retirement in 2006, the continued success of this innovative program continues today as a testament to the professional guidance provided by Clark. As a Brevard County resident for more than 50 years, Ron was a contributing member of many civic organizations and supported countless community projects for the betterment of citizens and visitors to our area. Family values and quality of life were constant measures in both his personal and professional life. The community benefited from that dedication, and the development of his successors continues that trend even today. Miss Barbara Jenkins, born in 1928, was more commonly known as the Queen of Cocoa and worked her lifetime helping individuals in the community. In 1982, the city of Cocoa officially proclaimed a Barbara Jenkins Day and later named a street on which she resided in her honor. Miss Jenkins taught classes to those who wanted to learn a trade, taught parenting skills to young mothers, gave voters rides to the polls, and would prepare a home-cooked meal for the homeless or anyone in need. Simply put, Miss Jenkins had a heart of gold. One of Barbara's proudest accomplishments was assisting in the desegregation of the former Wusthof Hospital in Rockledge. A humble person who did not seek recognition, the awards Miss Jenkins received are a testament to a woman who fought for the underprivileged and sought to find ways to improve the community she was so proud of. Some of her notable awards include Outstanding Service to Brevard Community College Award, Martin Luther King Humanitarian Award, and Outstanding Woman of Brevard County Award. With a lifetime of public service, from addressing mental health concerns to child care issues, Miss Jenkins supported and spoke for those who needed a voice. Barbara Jenkins passed away on May 25th of 2019, but her legacy will live within the lives of so many who crossed her path and those who were honored to have called her a friend. Tom Jenkins was a fixture in public safety for 2 decades, beginning in 1986 as the county manager of Brevard. Not finished with the service to the citizens of Brevard County, Tom also served as Chief Administrative Officer with the Brevard County Sheriff's Office. As the Brevard County Manager, Tom continuously fought to ensure that the Sheriff, Public Safety Director, and Fire Chief were always given top priority and had all of the resources necessary to protect our citizens at the highest level. While he was always highly supportive of all of his thousands of employees, Tom brought out the very best of all of his managers. When elected in 2004, former Sheriff Jack Parker was so impressed with Tom's management style and effectiveness that he invited Tom to become a member of the Sheriff's Office command team. It was his love for the citizens and his sincere concern for their protection that motivated him to accept the position. Tom went on to become critical to the agency's success, guiding each member to serve the citizens at the highest possible level. Much of the financial credibility that the Sheriff's Office enjoys today is a result of the strong foundation of trust built by Tom Jenkins. It is because of his hard work and high expectations many years ago that the county's public safety services flourish today. Tom is the living example of what a public servant should be, a servant dedicated to ensuring the finest and safest community possible. Even in retirement, Tom continues to serve our county in many roles and on advisory boards and charitable organizations. Judge Clarence Johnson Jr. devoted his life to public service and was a pioneer in the legal system of Brevard County. He graduated with his bachelor's degree and later his law degree from the University of Florida. After returning to Brevard County in 1963, he became the president of what was then known as Brevard Community College. He became a circuit court judge in '71, where he served on the bench for 31 years. He was chief judge for 5 years and a senior judge for 9. Perhaps his crowning achievement was as founder and president of the Vassar B. Carlton American Court, as a tribute to Just Carlton's service to our legal community. His dedication to service extended to the community as he served as president for both the Cocoa JCs and Rotary and was active in the Faith Lutheran Church. Whether hearing the arguments of skilled attorneys or litigants who represented themselves, Judge Johnson allowed parties to make their case, delivered clear and just decisions, and treated all with respect and civility. Judge Clarence T. Johnson passed away this year on Independence Day, but because of his legacy of distinguished service that formed the foundation of Brevard's judicial community and his dedicated service to his country, he will never be forgotten. Linda Rohde started her NASA career in 1984 and transitioned to the Protective Services Office, where she has held many different positions to include Security Assistant in the Operations Division, NASA Special Agent, and Security Specialist. Linda was the lead special agent for 15 Space Shuttle missions. During the recovery efforts of Space Shuttle Columbia, she was responsible for impounding and securing critical facilities and electronic data later used as evidence for the Accident Investigation Board. As a NASA Special Agent, Linda has served on numerous executive protection details and is currently the Physical Security Program Manager responsible for the protection of NASA critical infrastructure that is vital to launch operations and human spaceflight. She has received numerous awards and medals throughout her NASA career, including the NASA Silver Achievement Medal, the NASA Exceptional Achievement Medal, and the prestigious Silver Snoopy, awarded by the NASA Astronaut Office. During her more than 35 years of service, Ms. Rohde has developed programs, policies, and requirements necessary to protect personnel, flight hardware, and critical assets required for mission success. She has dedicated her career to NASA and public service, while also volunteering her time at the Hidden Acres Rescue for Thoroughbreds. Dr. Jolie Smith has provided years of dedicated service and leadership to the residents of the city of Rockledge. A native of Cocoa, Dr. Smith graduated from Cocoa's Monroe High School. He earned a bachelor's and master's degree in education from Florida A&M University in Tallahassee, as well as his doctoral degree in education administration and supervision in higher education from the University of Florida. In 2000, Dr. Smith retired from BCC as campus president emeritus. In 2017, Dr. Smith retired as EFSC's college ambassador. Dr. Smith has been a member of several civic and nonprofit organizations. Over the years, Dr. Smith has received a number of awards, including the BCC Distinguished Service Award and the Humanitarian Award from Onyx Magazine. Dr. Smith was inducted into the Brevard County Space Coast Junior Achievement Business Hall of Fame and received the 2013 South Brevard NAACP Lifetime Achievement Living Legend Award. Dr. Smith has been inducted into the Florida A&M University Sports Hall of Fame as a baseball player and into the Space Coast Sports Hall of Fame for his achievements in sports development. In his role as a city councilman, he has consistently made it a point to protect the most vulnerable in his community. His sense of duty and responsibility for the well-being of our community are things that have not changed. Dr. Smith has served Rockledge for 36 years as a councilman. The Rock will be a truly different place, and Dr. Smith is greatly missed since his retirement in November of 2019.
Well, as we have our Hall of Fame inductees, please come to join us at the stage. Stage left over here. What an amazing evening we've had, ladies and gentlemen, as the family members of Ron Clark and Barbara Jenkins and Clarence Johnson join us, as well as Tom Jenkins, Linda Rohde, and Jolie Smith, as they're inducted into the Public Service Hall of Fame for Brevard County. We want to thank our sponsors greatly, And now we're going to be presenting the Hall of Famers and their representatives with their honorable plaques tonight. Over 900 of you tonight at this incredible event, and we're so grateful you stayed so long. It's been 2 hours, pretty popping presentation, a lot of information to recognize 127 awardees tonight, but we think it's very important these people act as inspirations for others coming forward. Thank you, Linda. Thank you, everyone. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, our Hall of Fame recipients and their representatives for Ron Clark, Barbara Jenkins, Clarence Johnson, and Tom Jenkins, Linda Rhodey, and Jolie Smith. There it is, folks. Let's hear it for them, our Public Service Hall of Fame representatives and inductees for 2019 and 2020. And I think you'll agree that all of these people represent incredible contributions to Brevard County, and all of you tonight, all of you awardees, all of you nominees, and all of you family members of those people are true heroes here in Brevard County. Once again, our Hall of Fame inductees for 2019 and 20. That's right, you can leave the stage over there by Sheriff Ivey. Really want to thank everyone for their attendance and their attention tonight. It's been a wonderful evening. A giant thank you goes out to the staff at the Radisson. We are typically at the Max King Center for this event. We want to thank the Radisson for squeezing in over 900 chairs for us tonight. I want to thank Sheriff Wayne Ivey and his amazing team. Chief Doug Waller, Chief Mike Demorat, Jeanette Foster, Gene Palmer, Ellen Kurtziel, Cheryl Senk. The entire team has been so supportive to put this event together. Amazing group of people. I'd like to thank our Space Coast Daily team of writers, producers, editors, photographers, and videographers, led by Tom Palermo, for making this wonderful event possible. We're very proud to say that all the money raised from this event, 100% of the proceeds, will go to the Brevard County Public Service Charity, be available for those first responders when they need it. Don't forget, folks, if you'd like to see these films again, you can go see them anytime at spacecoastdaily.com. Just type in the recipient's or the nominee's name, and you'll be able to see that video come up right there on Space Coast Daily. I want to thank you once again, and Sheriff Ivey will be up here for our closing remarks. I'd like to thank Fred and all his team for helping put this program together. And we look forward to another great year as we will be recognizing people again 1 year from tonight. I'd like to thank our sponsors as well, some very valuable sponsors who helped make this possible. Let's hear it for Sheriff Ivey. Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you, Giles. And what do you think? Pretty good night? So as we close out tonight, I want to share one of my favorite quotes of all time, and it's from General George Patton. And it is, l'audace, toujours l'audace, which means audacity, audacity. Always audacity. Imagine the audacity it took for those recognized tonight to do what they did, to save lives, to change lives, to educate someone, to elevate someone, to defend someone, to build someone up, and most of all, to love someone. Imagine being that bold, that courageous, that caring, that passionate about something, and if nothing else, that stubborn, could never give up on someone. Now imagine how great the world would be if every community was blessed like ours, to be filled with people like tonight's honorees. To me, and I think to each of you, the people that were up on this stage, the people that were up on the videos, are what makes Brevard County such an amazing place. To work, to raise our families, to play, and quite frankly, just to be. This is an amazing place. So as we leave tonight, our job is to go forward and teach the heroics that you saw tonight to our next generation and the generation after that. Our legacy on this earth can't just be to do great things. It has to be to teach others to do great things through our actions so they can teach others as well. Our last order of business before we leave tonight is to quickly yet wholeheartedly thank some folks that tonight would not be possible without. Our pastor, David Rosenbaum, thank you, sir. Our multi-agency honor guard, they do such an amazing job at presenting the colors of our great country at every event you see throughout Brevard County. Our Brevard Pipes and Drums, Chief Mike DeMorat, Manager Cheryl Sink, Jeanette Foster, Ellen Kurzel, and of course, all of our amazing volunteers. One of our managers, Ron Spangler, and his team for all they do to make sure that everyone has great deserving plaques. Of course, our gracious sponsors who catered to the reception tonight. Our amazing crime scene team, I know they're here somewhere taking pictures. Usually they want everybody laying down for the pictures, but it works. And of course, Giles Malone, Tom Palermo, the entire Space Coast Daily team for their true partnership with Team BCSO and their partnership with our community. If you didn't get a chance to take a photo tonight with your plaque and your hardware that you'll walk away with, I'll meet you out in the lobby. We'll be making sure that we try to get a picture for everyone that's honored tonight. And I'm going to close with what I tell everybody. Here in Brevard County, we are blessed to serve as law enforcement officers because our citizens love us, they trust us, and they protect us just as much as we protect them. So as you travel home safely tonight, know that on behalf of our entire agency, how much that means to us. It means the world to us. So have a good night, everybody. Thank you for being here.